Marvel's Avengers BETA has great potential. The repetitive missions, invisible gear loot system, bad textures and glitches may be there, but with its fun brawler combat mechanic and its immersive storytelling featuring some of our favorite Marvel superheroes, players will instantly love this game. This is New Rising. Let's get going. As the game is still in its beta stage, I can't really say much about the story yet, but I am here to report to you that so far, it's looking great. I've decided not to talk too much about the contents of the story, other than characters and storytelling. You know, so far. From the big set pieces to the small intimate moments between the characters, Marvel's Avengers managed to successfully immerse me in its narrative, world, and its characters. Big set pieces shown so far are dynamic and smooth, seamlessly jumping from character to character through each and every cutscene. The transition between gameplay to scenes are fluid, with no sense of interruptions for most of them. The characters feel alive and distinguished. The constant banter between the characters helps with making the characters feel alive and human. You can really feel the personalities of each character through it all. Dr. Banner with his awkward socializing, Kamala Khan with her geek side, or Iron Man with his cocky attitude. Marvel's Avengers managed to make me care about the characters in such a short amount of time. It's amazing how my brain instantly accepted these characters despite the high standards these beloved icons already have because of the MCU. I absolutely cannot wait to see more of these characters and how the game will explore them all. The gameplay is where I think the game shines best, because it makes you feel like an actual Avenger. The beta currently only allows you to play 4 characters, namely Kamala Khan, the Hulk, Iron Man, and Black Widow. Each character features different skills, different playstyles, and different traversal movements. I'm genuinely surprised at how different it is to play each character. First, let's talk about the characters, then let's talk about the general gameplay. I'm amazed how they incorporated the characters' individual uniqueness to both combat and movement. For example, Kamala Khan is able to move swiftly and latch onto ledges with her elastic arms, while Hulk is slow and heavy but can leap great heights and even wall jump. Hulk doing parkour? Yes! Iron Man, on the other hand, uses his repulsors to fly around and wreak havoc from the air, while Black Widow quickly dashes from enemy to enemy using her grappling hook. Combat-wise, they all have their own unique playstyle for any type of player. As Kamala, you can sweep ground enemies swiftly with quick light attacks or wide range attacks using her elastic abilities. As Hulk, well, you can smash your way through countless waves of enemies with pure brute power, and even grab one of them to use as a human baseball bat. As Iron Man, you can kill your enemies from a safe distance with your trusty repulsors, or hit them with the iconic melee combos that can be seen from the famous Iron Man films. Finally, as Black Widow, you can dash to your enemies using your grappling hook, and swiftly finish them off with your stun baton. Now let's talk about the gameplay. The combat of Marvel's Avengers is basically like a brawler game with a mix of melee and ranged combat. The closest combat I can probably think of is God of War, with its L2 R2 axe throwing mechanic, square or triangle for light or heavy attacks, and circle for the dodge or roll. The enemy even flashes a certain color before it lands an attack to signify its players for an incoming attack. Surprisingly, it all fits the game really well. The combat does a great job at making you feel powerful without ever making the gameplay boring. With all the skills and abilities the Avengers have, you'd think you'd be unstoppable, but that's where you're wrong. The game, when played at the right difficulty, will punish you for mashing your attack buttons and forgetting about the dodge button. The dodge button, as well as the parry button, adds depth to this brawler-style combat system. All enemies you will encounter here will flash a certain color and slow down a tad bit before their attacks land on you, giving you enough time to hit the circle button for the perfect dodge. Without this mechanic, the game will just be one of those brawler games that are just too easy to even worry about dying. Missions are not great or innovative, but fun combat makes up for it. Most of the side missions on the beta aren't as fun or immersive as the main ones, and with the gear loot system present, there will come a point where you'll start to feel the grind. Although given that it is a beta and that they ask you to rate every mission after clearing, I really think that they'll do a great job adjusting the type of missions we'll be getting from the launch. They still end up with the same type of missions by then. Getting a friend to grind with you easily washes away the grindy feel. Gear loot system isn't as interesting as other looters. The gear you collect in the game isn't as compelling as other looters because of the simple fact that they're purely number raisers. It doesn't feature any cosmetic look to any of the equipable gear. It's not the greatest feature of the game, but it does help in adding depth to exploration and completing missions. Skill progression is perfect for this type of game. With a game featuring different unique characters, having a level system with a skill tree for each character makes grinding and finishing missions something to look forward to. Opening the menu and looking at the movesets have made me want to reach the next level faster. Now let's talk about the graphics and audio. Online matchmaking is very unresponsive. Me and my friends found it impossible to connect to each other's games. I asked other people and it worked fine then. It's a beta, so I hope they fix it come launch. The graphics aren't great yet. During my playthrough, I noticed a ton of textures that were badly loaded, including cutscenes and in-game action. Given that it's a beta, they're probably still fixing it. Some animations are great, some are okay. You know the combat animations are great when you feel the elasticity of Kamala with your every movement. The animations are perfect. Whether you're dodging or you're slapping enemies left and right with your inflated hands of doom, I'm here to report to you that the facial animations aren't as bad as I thought it would be after seeing its first debut back in E3 2019. The facial animations aren't the best, but they're surprisingly better than the trailers for some reason. So I'm looking forward to seeing the final quality once it comes out. Music is powerful. The scoring in this game is absolutely great. Perfect for that superhero feel you get in MCU movies. After playing what the beta has to offer, I have to say I am genuinely impressed and excited. Despite the bad textures, grindy missions, hilarious glitches, and inconsistent animations there from time to time, because it is a beta, the storytelling is dynamic and exhilarating with seamless transitions and characters that are just crazy charming. You have combat that overflows with energy and peak fun factor, and even a level progression system that makes up for the lackluster gear system. Marvel's Avengers is a big blockbuster game just waiting to explode. If you wanted to be an Avenger yourself any day in your life, this is the game for you. For more gaming news, stay tuned to the new Rising Entertainment. We'll see you next time.